Hi, my name is Jen Rosenthal, and I will be discussing digital redlining. What is digital redlining? To understand it, we need to first look back to the 1930s when redlining itself began. Redlining was a practice that started when mortgage lenders would deny loans to residents in areas they deemed too risky to operate in. This practice overwhelmingly impacted Black communities. Lenders would use red to mark maps of neighborhoods they felt were not worthy of inclusion in homeownership and lending programs. Most of these redlined areas were neighborhoods where Black and historically marginalized residents lived. This effectively barred Black home buyers from qualifying for secure mortgages from many banks. Although the Fair Housing Act of 1968 officially outlawed the practice of redlining, repercussions persist. Many impacts of historical redlining can still be seen today. Among them is broadband access. Research shows that communities that were redlined 50 years ago now have less access to affordable fast internet today. This brings us to digital redlining. Digital redlining is a modern-day manifestation of the redlining of the past and is one factor contributing to the digital divide in our nation. Big providers, when deciding where to invest the money to upgrade their networks, often focus on wealthier parts of cities and shun low-income communities. As a result, poorer communities often have no internet or are stuck with slow, dated networks that can't meet today's demands, even though they usually pay as much as their wealthier neighbors who have faster fiber connections. Internet access has become essential to many aspects of modern life. A lack of access to reliable high-speed internet can have a myriad of consequences. Not only is the option to work remotely unlikely, but job searches are harder. Digital redlining also exacerbates inequalities in the gig economy. Job seekers are also at a disadvantage when building technology and computer skills. Residents have a harder time connecting with what is happening in their communities and staying informed. As telemedicine becomes more common, reduced broadband connections make it harder to access. Paying high prices for substandard internet access can strain family budgets. In the pandemic, the digital divide was brought to stark relief as students all over the country switched to online learning. The lack of access made already sizable educational disadvantages even more pronounced. Students from redlined communities are often unable to fully participate in online learning, access digital educational materials, and engage with the interactive platforms. This inequity hampers their academic progress and limits future prospects. Libraries, public libraries in particular, play an important role in bridging the digital divide caused by redlining and other factors. Libraries need to ensure they have robust Wi-Fi networks. They can purchase hotspots to lend to patrons. Digital literacy programming can help patrons build missing skills. Mobile apps are more accessible for people who have phones but lack computers or have slow or no internet. Librarians can educate residents about funding programs available to help reduce or even eliminate internet fees. The work libraries are doing to combat the digital divide is vital, but we still need better and equitable home access across the country. So what is being done? The Affordable Connectivity Program, established as part of 2021's Jobs Act, provides subsidies to help eligible households afford home broadband plans. In 2022, the FCC formed a task force to prevent digital discrimination that will focus on creating rules and policies to combat digital discrimination and promote equal access to broadband throughout the U.S. It is yet to be seen what plans the task force comes up with and whether Congress will fund them. Digital redlining is a result of racism, systemic inequity, and the government not requiring internet providers to provide equitable access to reliable and affordable broadband. This issue is decades in the making, starting years before the internet even existed with the practice of redlining communities. It's likely to take years to rectify, and the harm it causes persists. But it is encouraging to see that it is being talked about at all levels of government and by the public and nonprofit sectors. The pandemic exacerbated the digital divide, but it also put a spotlight on it. It's a challenge that's being discussed and starting to be addressed by many contingents. Digital redlining is an issue that everyone in the information science space should be aware of. Librarians can be involved in planning for strategies to reduce and someday eliminate its effects on patrons, especially those of us who work in and around communities that contend with digital redlining. Thank you for watching. Citations are available in a separate PDF document for easier access.